Next, we have a set of pardons for peaceful pro-life protesters who were prosecuted by the Biden administration for exercising their First Amendment rights.
Do you know how many?
I believe it's 23, sir.
23 people were prosecuted. They should not have been prosecuted. Many of them are elderly people. They should not have been prosecuted. This is a great honor to sign this. They'll be very happy. So they're all in prison now.
Some are out of
Donald
custody.
Trump pardoned over 20 pro-life activists on Thursday who were prosecuted by Biden's Department of Justice, DOJ. 23 people were prosecuted. They should not have been. Many are elderly. This is a great honor to sign this, Trump said, calling some imprisonments ridiculous. The pardons came ahead of the 52nd Annual March for Life. Trump had repeatedly pledged to review and potentially pardon political prisoners unjustly persecuted by the Biden administration, including pro-life advocates. The activists were prosecuted under the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances, FACE, Act, a 1994 law prohibiting conduct intended to interfere with reproductive health services. While the act was designed to protect all sides equally, 97% of cases since its inception targeted pro-life advocates. Biden's DOJ accounted for over 25% of the 211 FACE prosecutions since 1994. Of the 55 cases prosecuted during Biden's term, only a few addressed attacks on pro-life pregnancy centers or churches. Despite a rise in such incidents following the Supreme Court's Dobbs decision, Biden's DOJ often added a KKK-era conspiracy charge to increase potential sentencing and conducted aggressive raids, including early morning arrests. Among the targeted were an 89-year-old concentration camp survivor, several grandmothers, and a Christian father of 11. Earlier this month, the Thomas More Society submitted pardon petitions for 21 pro-life advocates, including Joan Bell, Coleman Boyd, Jonathan Darnell, Eva EDL, and Father Fidelis Moscinski. These activists were involved in cases spanning Washington, D.C., Nashville, Tennessee, Detroit, Michigan, Long Island, New York, and Manhattan, New York. Steve Crampton of the Thomas More Society celebrated the pardons, saying, "Freedom rings today. These heroic pro-lifers were unjustly imprisoned and can now return home to their families. This is a huge step toward justice. Thank you to President Trump for righting these grievous wrongs." Representative Chip Roy, Republican Texas, and Senator Mike Lee, Republican Utah, introduced a bill this week to repeal the FACE Act, calling it an unconstitutional federal takeover of state police powers. Roy argued, "These Americans were targeted solely for their beliefs. 97% of FACE Act prosecutions from 1994 to 2024 were against pro-life Americans. Congress must repeal this law to prevent future weaponization."